message that comes. So welcome everybody to the interagency meeting, the first one of 2022. My name is Sarah Dixon. I work for Bath and North East Somerset Council in our community engagement team. It's lovely to see lots of people on the call today. Some names I don't know, so it'd be great to hear some updates from you all. These meetings are meant to be very informal, so please, you know, I know this is lunchtime, so if you are planning to have your lunch, please do have your lunch. Keep yourselves on mute if that's okay when you're not speaking. Use the chat to connect with people, share information, and connect or send emails directly to people. I'm hoping that I would double check the chat is available for everybody to share and share information. If it's okay, we'll go around the screen, and I know people will move as we go. So if I've missed anybody off, do let me know, and we can come back to you. Is there anybody that needs to leave fairly soon? Oh yeah, Vicky, I'm seeing Vicky and Lynn. Okay, so we'll take Vicky and Lynn. Oh, and Geraldine as well. So Vicky, Lynn and Geraldine. Okay, anybody else that needs to go fairly soon? No? Okay, so if we take those three first, and then and really it's just a very short update on anything you have to update the group on, anything you want to share, any opportunities for partnership arrangements, to explain a little bit about your role, to help give a bit of context, and hopefully you can make some connections. I know these meetings are always really useful for people, just to remind ourselves what's available out there for our local communities and services that are operating. So if we start then with Lynn. Lynn, Tom?
Hello, my name's Lynn Toman. I'm the head of the Good Living Services St John's Foundation here in Bath, but covering Bains. So I've not been part of this group before, so I'm just going to be in the background listening, but I'm very keen to work more collaboratively with other agencies, so that's why I've joined today. So I'd like to understand a little bit more about this group. So I'm going to sit in the background, if that's all right, Sarah.
It is, Lynn. Yeah, that's great, and thank you for joining us. Is there any sort of funding or anything that people need to be aware of? Anything coming up?
In regard, well, so I'm part of the Good Living Service, which is around our almshouses accommodation and activities within the community. So well-being, you know, general well-being activities that St John's provides. So there's a funding team that deals with the funding. I'm more about the practical implementation of support and well-being around older people. So we've got some accommodation. If people are looking for accommodation for older people, we've got some available at the moment. So if they'd like to contact me, I'm happy to have a conversation about the criteria set out within that. Okay,
that's brilliant. Thanks, Len. If there's anything, I'm trying to find the chat. I can't seem to see it at the bottom. I will do my best to find it as people are talking. So I don't know if anybody else can see it on their screen at the moment.
No, I can't see it.
Okay, I'll do my best to fiddle with the settings, and hopefully we'll get that sorted, so you can add some bits and pieces into the chat. So thanks, Lynn, that's great, thank you. Vicky Stone.
Hello.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi. Yeah, so I'm Vicky Stone. I work for Sustrans, who are known as the Sustainable Transport Charity. I guess we initially started off as a walking and cycling charity. We've evolved, and we're still about walking and cycling, but we're now very focused on livability, which is the ability for people to live locally and to get all of their local needs met, all of their day-to-day needs met locally. So in terms of amenities and services, as well as green spaces, social activities, meaning that they can live within their neighbourhood and not necessarily need to travel so much to access the things they need. So my role, I'm a livable cities and towns officer. I'm covering the Bath and North East Somerset area, and my main aim is to support residents to make changes to their streets to make them more livable. So there's a few things. So I've been in this role for about a year now, and there's a few key things that I'm working on. So one is that I'm working alongside Bath and North East Somerset Council within their Livable Neighbourhoods programme, supporting residents to engage with that and ensure that they have their say, because the streets will be changed and the way people use them will be changed. So I want to ensure that a diverse number of residents engage and put their views forwards. So one aspect is that I'm starting to develop a steering group, which will be made up of people who are either advocating or representing a certain group within Bains. So I've started to kind of form this group already. I need to kind of speak more with the council to ensure that I'm going along the right lines. But anyone that is interested in representing their group in this sort of steering group, I would be really interested to hear from, to ensure that then I can make sure those views are heard within the project board and within the projects that are happening throughout Bath and North East Somerset. And then the other thing I'm working on is I'm working on a focus area, which is in Snow Hill, which is just off London Road in Walcott Ward in Bath. And there I'm very much focusing on ensuring that residents there are engaging with the Livable Neighbourhoods programme, because there will be changes within that ward. I want to make sure that those residents have their say and think about how they'd like their streets to be and how they'd like their environment to change. And also one project that's coming out of that is a community garden. So I'm working with a local organisation called the Genesis Trust, and working very closely with them to design a community garden, which will then grow food and lead on to kind of cooking activities and things like that in the local area. So I'm really interested in partnerships, and especially if you represent a group that's possibly unheard, or their views are generally unheard in decision-making processes. That would be really great to hear from you. Thank you.
That's great. Thanks, Vicky. Is there anybody that wanted to ask Vicky any questions at all? No? Just double check on the screen.
Sarah, is there any way without the chat, is there any way that a list of participants and contacts could be shared?
Yes, possibly. Yes, we might be able to do that after the meeting. I am desperately trying to re-enable the chat behind the scenes, so I am trying to do that. So hopefully we'll be able to get that before the end of the meeting with any luck. But yeah, we'll see whether we can do that. If everybody's happy with their information, their contact details being shared with everybody, then we will we'll do that after the meeting. So unless I see anybody shaking their heads, we'll sort that out. Brilliant. Okay, thanks, Vicky. That's great. I think we had Geraldine was the next one that needed to go. Hi, Geraldine.
Hi, I don't have to go till 1 o'clock, but I'm going to be here for an hour. My name is Geraldine Roast. I work for Julian House here in Bath. I work alongside the bike shops and run the Build a Bike scheme. I don't know whether people have heard about the Build a Bike scheme. I will put a link on the chat, or I will send emails out after. But really, I'm here just to connect and liaise with other agencies, to really just let people know that this is here, and it's for, you know, any agency that wants to refer a client. It's a really good scheme. It's free. It's 1 day a week for 3 hours a week on a Tuesday here in Bath. We also have one in Trowbridge in Wiltshire. yeah, and just really, you know, trying to make connections and kind of spread the word a little bit about, you know, whether you've got elderly people or people with mental health, or, you know, young adults who just need something to do, and it's a great course. They get a certificate as well as free accreditation certificates, and they get to keep the bike at the end, so it's a form of transport. So yeah, just really kind of trying to get out and meet new agencies and do a bit of networking, really. So nice to meet you all.
Thank you. Any questions for Geraldine? No, quickly looking on the screen. No, okay, great. Well, thanks very much. Thanks for coming. Okay, so I'm going to start the top left on my screen, which is Joy, if that's all right. Over to Joy, and then we'll take Kimberly, if that's all right. Kimberly, Tyler, and Kate Lynn. Would that be all right? Thanks.
Well, hello, everybody. Lucy Day and I need to communicate a little more, in that we're both from the Hive in Peasdown, St John. I don't think either of us knew the other one was coming. So if it's all right with you, Sarah, I'll let Lucy say a little bit about the Hive Community Centre in Peasdown, St John, and then after she's done that, I'll say a little bit about the youth work. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no problem. Lucy, do you want to start?
Yes. Hello. Hi, Joy. So the Hive Community Centre, we've just been open just under a year. I'm the manager, and I've been in post just over 2 months. So this is my first interagency meeting. And we're still very much about kind of letting people know that we are where we are and what we do, and the kind of the facilities that we've got to offer to various groups, and also looking at the moment to attract the kind of groups in that will meet the needs of our village. But yeah, there's a lot to do at the moment. We're still very much at the beginning.
Okay, we have rooms for hire, so if anybody wanted to deliver services in Peasdown, St John, you can always come along and see if we have a room available, and the hire rates are very cheap. We have a sports hall, we have an art room, so it's a great building. We have a cafe in there as well, the library's in there, the post office is in there, so it's really becoming a lovely community hub. But we're also doing youth work on 2 sessions a week, on a Monday and a Wednesday evening. And this was part of the deal with Bains in taking on the building that it used to be a youth hub, and that we continue to deliver youth work. And we're quite desperate for volunteers. So if anybody knows of it, we've got 1 or 2 things to follow up to get more volunteers to come and help, because these are the kids who have probably fallen through the net a bit through the pandemic, missed out on their education, not had the discipline of going to school, and they're not an easy bunch of kids to work with. And we really do need more volunteers to be able to work effectively with them. So if anybody has got any contacts or leads for me on that, then I'd be very grateful.
Great. Thanks, Joy, and thanks, Lucy. Any questions for Eva? No? Okay, that's great. Have you been in touch with Mike Plowes from the volunteer service? Because they might be able to help sort of get the word out in terms of your recruitment of volunteers.
I've had his name given to me before,
Okay.
not followed it up, so I will do that.
Brilliant. Okay, he's based here in the hub where I am, so I'll ask him to get in contact as well. So that'd be good.
Lovely.
Great.
Thank you.
Kimberly, if that's all right. Hi, Kimberly.
Hello. I think this is the first time I've seen your face, Sarah. I've spoken to you a few times, but I don't think I've ever known what you look like. So nice to actually see you. Yeah, so my name's Kimberly and I work for the Wellbeing Service, or the Health and Wellbeing Service, Hcrd Care Group. Formerly we were Virgin Care, so you might have heard of us that way. As a kind of basic overview, we tend to offer our kind of health and wellbeing support for the community via our community hubs. So things like we've got our adult and child healthy weight services, stop smoking, diabetes prevention, all of those kind of healthy lifestyle things. And all the kind of things that you might have heard us if you've been to these meetings before. So our Child Healthy Weight LEAP program runs for children aged 5 to 17, and they get some free physical activity via their leisure centre with that as well. So they get 3 months of free activity if they sign up. So that's a good kind of way of getting people a little bit more active. And we also have our Cook It program, so that's for families with children up to the age of 17, and they can cook along, learn some healthy recipes, and again they get vouchers for the food, so it's free for them to kind of participate and learn the kind of background as to what is healthy as well. As a bit of an update to our team, we are also currently supporting a pilot scheme. So we're working closely with Age UK and the RUH discharge team. It's been funded to provide 400 help packs between January and March this year. The aim of these is to support safe hospital discharge for patients or to prevent hospital admission. So they provide patients with 3 days of nutritious meals plus some personal care items. And there's some information as to extra support available as well included. And they also get a welfare call from our team within 24 hours, as well as 7 days. And again, at 28 days, just to check on them, see how they're getting on, see if they need anything. So again, to refer to that, we have our hub. If the chat does come up, I can pop that hub number in the side. It does come up on Google if you Google our community wellbeing hub. I can read it out now actually if you wanted it. So if you did want to jot it down, it's 0300 247 0050. So for anything to do with our wellbeing team or those help packs, it goes through that number. Yeah, so anyone you want to refer for any of our courses, feel free. We always have spaces. We're quite kind of flexible. So I think that's pretty much it. I will also say there is a second Kimberly Tyler in here. It's one of my team members who I shared the link with. So she won't be adding anything, but she is at the bottom somewhere. So I think that's it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Kimberly. Any questions for Kimberly about her services and the new projects coming forward for the help packs? No? Oh, Denise.
Just assuming that everyone can self-refer.
The help packs.
Sorry, for your wellbeing service and your
Wellbeing service
courses stop and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, stop smoking, etc. can be self-referrals. Yeah, but it can also come through professionals, GPs. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I have tried to get the chat function up, but unfortunately, I think you have to stop the meeting and then restart it. So if people are happy to carry on, as Kimberly's done, you know, if you can just read out some numbers and emails so that people can jot them down, but we'll do an email, a round robin email after the meeting. So apologies for that. I won't make that mistake again for the next one. Zoom's all about learning lessons, isn't it? And you learn something new each time with Zoom. So there you go. Thanks, Kimberly. Katie, over to you.
Hi, I'm Katie Lunn. I am a new village agent working in the Bath Eastern area, but also the surrounding areas, Bathampton, Bath Ford. But right now I've only just started last week, so I'm kind of focusing on Bath Eastern, which is where I live. So this meeting's really useful just to see all of the support services around Bath. I had a meeting last week in Bath Eastern and met some of the key players there, so it's quite nice to see what else is out there in a bigger area. Basically, my role is to make contact and support vulnerable adults, mostly old people, and just give them ongoing support, signposting, referring them on to other agencies that's going to help them live independently. So I think, Kimberly, that the care packs coming out of hospital is going to be quite relevant. and yeah, probably lots of other things that come out of this as well. So yeah, excited to start. Oh, and I'm working for Denise as well. She's my boss.
Oh, well, welcome, Katie, and I'm sure you'll see lots of these people in lots of different meetings, and you'll cross over, I'm sure, no doubt. And there's some great stuff that goes on in Bains. We're very lucky, actually, as a community, to have so many fantastic services and projects out there. So, you know, good luck in your new role. It's a very exciting project, and it's exciting to have the village agents extended into the east side of Bath. So welcome. Okay, Emma, thank you, Katie. Emma, do you want to give us an update? Emma, is it ECOB?
Yeah, ECOB. So I'm a bit of an intruder. So I actually work for South Gloucestershire Council. So I've had a meeting with the community development team and some of the sort of public health representatives at Bains Council, because one of the sort of things that I'm looking at South Gloss is the way in which we as a council engage with our communities and the way that we have different conversations with our communities. So I sort of reached out just to see what our neighbouring authorities were doing, and was told about these meetings, and I sort of said, well, can I come along just to see what the meetings are like and to see sort of the people that are around the table and to see sort of what conversations go on and what work is happening sort of across within our neighbouring authorities. So that's really why I'm here. So you probably won't hear too much from me, but yes, I just wanted to pop in and say hello.
Thanks, Emma. I'm sorry I didn't saw the screens. I didn't recognise you, and your name didn't ring a bell, so apologies. And we had a really good meeting. It's really always good to share with other local authorities and other organisations about what's happening, because you can either sort of pinch ideas or they can learn from you. So great, thanks for coming, Emma. I'm going to go from the next row down on my screen, which I've got Sarah Talbot, Richard Burgess, we've done Liz Kingston, if that's all right. Thank you, Sarah.
Hi everybody. Nice to see you all again. So I'm from Age UK, Bath and North East Somerset. My role is Community Connections Manager, and that's really, I'm organising one section of the sort of type of things that we do in Bains. But so there's community connections, information advice, and support at home. So support at home, as Kimberly said, that is starts really with home from hospital and helping people prevent hospital admission, and that's something that we can, you know, we very much like to try and do to help people stay independent at home if they can. This is older people, obviously, but the home from hospitals applies to every, you know, anybody. We can help support people, take people home, and working together with Sarah, you know, because now we've got this fantastic food offer as well. So it's a really lovely way. We're joining up with the Community Wellbeing Hub and you know, helping people generally come out of hospital, but take the pressure off the hospital. So that's been something keeping us all really busy. But the other thing we do as well is offer help at home. So that's another service that sort of develops from that. If somebody wants further help, they can have it from us. And then going into another string of what we do, and what we quite like to see more of really is we do offer this information advice. And that's free advice for older people, carers and their family members. And it's things like, you know, we're finding a lot more people, we had actually a bit of a drop off of people coming to us during the lockdown, but now we're noticing that, you know, people are more concerned about things like how to keep their homes warm, how to maximize their income. And look, you know, we can look at anybody's benefits. So, you know, this is a free bit of advice, and it's really, really critical at the moment. I'm feeling that people are noticing that what with, you know, prices going up, they do need to do what they can to maximize their income. So please do refer people. It's very easy to refer people to Age UK. You just need to ring our reception or email reception, and they will get you somebody to, it's all done by a telephone, so people don't need to go anywhere. They literally just can have a telephone call, and if they need someone to come and see them, we can also arrange that. We do home visits if necessary. And the other arm of what I wanted to talk about today is the community connections. We have 8 day clubs running during the week that has transport connected to it. We've set up some dementia clubs, and in fact we've got a new one starting in Midsummer Norton, which doesn't have enough members to actually make it happen, but we've just set up some transport connected to that. So that's a Wednesday morning in in Midsummer Norton. So we're looking for more members for that. So again, just email reception at Age UK Bains, and we will, people can join that group. 2 other little groups that we're sort of re-energizing post-pandemic. One is a lunch club, or it's called Snack and Chat. Actually, it's a lunch club, informal lunch club in Bath on a Wednesday lunchtime. Again, it's just a drop-in for people just to come along, and people who perhaps don't want the more formal day club set up. That's 12:15 till 2. And before that, they could also perhaps make an appointment to see somebody to talk about IT support, because that's another group that we've reactivated after the pandemic. If somebody who can't make their phone work or their tablet work, you can make an appointment and come and see somebody who can help you with that. So that's a Wednesday morning in Bath, but hopefully we're going to be able to spread that out into rural areas once we've got ourselves a bit more organised and post-pandemic. But yeah, so that's a quick run through of what we're doing. There's various other things, but I won't. We do telephone befriending. That's the other thing. Again, face-to-face befriending is something we used to do, but we stopped during the pandemic, but we're hoping again to restart that in the summer. But at the moment it's telephone befriending. So just get in touch if you know somebody who's feeling that loneliness and would like to have a connection with one of our volunteers. Okay, that's me.
Sarah, I know people are really pleased to be having a lot of the activities starting up again, so it's great to hear. And I know there was the Alzheimer's group in Midsummer Norton, I think, disbanded, and I know we had an email from our councillor Eleanor Jackson who raised the issue. So we might put you in touch with them, because I know they were disappointed that the group had ended. So I'll put you in contact with them, because that might be something to follow up in terms of the members from that group.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, because there's a singing group connected to that we're going to support, which used to be run by the Alzheimer's Society, which we are hoping to. I don't like things closing. I don't like, the Alzheimer's Society, the singing group is so important. Things like singing groups, I think, are fantastic. So yeah, we're going to try and keep them going.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Sarah. Chantal Young has just joined us. Chantal is another new village agent, like Katie. And so I don't know, Chantal, if you wanted to just quickly introduce yourself. You don't need to say very much about your role, because obviously you're quite new to it. So, but I don't know if you wanted to introduce yourself, say who you are.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I'm late, but I was just interviewing, and the person that was interviewing talked a lot, which was lovely, but it just meant I ended up being a bit late coming here. So yes, I'm about to be, I haven't quite started, but I'm doing some bits and bobs, a village agent covering the Freshford area and possibly nudging into Coombe Down as well, hoping to start that a few hours in February every week, and then building up those hours and really starting properly in May. Because I'm currently working for Bath and North East Somerset Council. I'm a training manager there, but taking early retirement and looking forward very much to my new role as a village agent. So hopefully see you all again over time.
Thanks, Chantal. Oh, Joy, have you got your hand up?
Just a quick thought for Lynn Toman and for Sarah, that at the Hive, we would love to have activities for older people, whatever they may be. We know there are isolated people in Peasdown St John, and we haven't yet found the way in to be putting on those kind of activities. So maybe we can touch base at some point and think about what might be done.
Brilliant, thank you. Okay, I'm going to move on, if that's okay, to Richard and Liz, if that's all right. Liz Kingston, thank you.
Was it me now, Sarah?
Yeah, if that's all right, Richard. Are you ready to go?
Always. Thank you very much for that, and good afternoon, everybody, again. There's some things that have already been discussed which lead nicely, and he said doing a radio link. But I'm here for 2 purposes. One, to talk about presenters, and secondly, about how we can help publicise community work. So we're based in Midsummer Norton, as we've already talked about with Age UK and Sarah. I'm going to blow our own trumpet a little bit. We've got one of our presenters who is back on Radio 1. So we have a pretty professional outfit. We're always looking to get better, but our standard presenting is getting better all the time. And it's going to be further enhanced because Simon Allen from Age UK is going to be presenting a new community radio show for us. And that's in conjunction with Creativity Works and the Bains Carer Centre as well. And this is, I see, as part of our role as a community radio station covering North East Somerset. So if any of you have aspirations to be a presenter, first of all, I'm more than happy to look at doing something there, and we can help publicise what you do at the same time. Secondly, I talked about content and what we're doing in there. So Julian House has been mentioned earlier on. I've got Jess coming on in a couple of weeks to talk about the sleep out. Robin I've seen online today. I'm interviewing him Friday to talk about Westfield matters and probably car parking charges in Midsummer Norton. And from Peasdown St John point of view, I had the parish council on last week. Andy Larkin was on. So again, ladies, from the Hive, I'm happy to publicise what you're doing there as well and broadcast it out and see if we can generate some interest through that as well. That's it. That's quite enough for me. I can't put my details on here, but just look at Summer Valley FM and our website, and all my contact details are on there. I'm sure loads of you can be presenters. I can certainly help publicise what you're doing.
That's a great offer. We ask Simon Allen does a few songs. I think that's a must, really. He needs to do a few of his songs.
He has good musical taste, Simon. I'm going to allow him 3 or 4 songs.
That's great. Brilliant. Thanks, Richard. Thanks for joining us. Liz, hi Liz, how are you?
Yes, very good, very good. I'm just wondering whether I should try and become a radio presenter. Sounds great. Sounds great.
This is your opportunity.
Yes. Well, I am in the rock choir in Bath, which is a thriving choir. So, yeah. Anyway, Liz Kingston. I've got 2 hats today. I'm a parish councillor for Stowe Sutton, and so it's just to report back to the council what's going on around the interagency. So that's the admin side of it. Probably my living, breathing I want to say it's not a job, is the True Valley Library. I also coordinate that with I think we've got about 25, 26 volunteers. And as started in 2018, I think, and has become it's morphed. It's now the only place in Bishop Sutton that you can drop in and have a cup of coffee and bacon sandwich and whatever, which leads me on to all you that have been talking about mental well-being and Age UK and support. We've managed to, and also we work closely with our village agent, and we've managed to create a space mainly for the elderly that desperately need to get out and desperately want to see their friends. And I mean, we are awash at the moment. Some Saturdays you can't even get. We've got a beautiful chapel where we have the library, and we did it out a bit like a Waterstones as opposed to like a Bath Central library or a Midsummer Norton library. So it's got sofas, it's got a carpet, it's got coffee, it's we've got Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. It's a fabulous place, and listening to all the different people talking today, it kind of is relevant to all the things that you're all talking about: mental well-being, Age UK, community hub, and well, we're very, very pleased with the success of that. We always could do better. We could be open more. I'd love to be open more, but with it goes organisation, more volunteers, and everybody will tell you it's the same people that come in I mean, I've got some people that come in every time we're open to help. Some people do once a week, some people that do once every fortnight. But it's actually trying to keep the volunteers. They've become a great group of friends. These aren't people that we were socially interacting with before, but since it's been open, I can now say that probably 8-10 of them we meet socially as well. So it's become a well, it is a success, and the library is a success because we cover the Chew Valley, and during lockdown click and collect was absolutely essential to keep people reading, work with our local schools. Really, that's all I'd written down in terms of village agent, work with a village agent. The only other thing I'd written down is, of course, we're spearheading the Platinum Jubilee planning celebrations for the village of Bishop Sutton. But it's sort of trying to, we now connect a lot better as a village than we ever did before. And that's me, really. Okay.
No, that's fantastic. Thanks, Liz. I mean, great facility, same as the Hive in Peasdown. Really good, important assets in the community. And what I'll do after the meeting is I'll connect you with Mike Plowes. Not only runs the volunteer service, but he manages the Wellbeing College. And what was Virgin, Hcrd provide sort of activities for wellbeing, and I think they potentially could look at using your venue. So I'll make those connections with both of you, with Mike after the meeting. And if there's anybody else that wants to be connected as well, just let me know. So thanks, Liz. Nice to see you again. I haven't seen you for a long time. So it's really good. Okay, I'm going to go to the next row down on my screen, which is I've got Denise Perrin, Laura Nichols, and Sue Paul, if that's all right. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Denise Perrin, and I'm the project manager, mainly for the village agents, but I'm also here representing the West of England Rural Network. And just quickly to tell you that in rural communities, we're a rural community organisation, so we are very involved in supporting local rural communities in their development. So we have been supporting the Hive at some point, and the library in Bishop Sutton, but there are a number of village halls that we support, and any other sort of rural broadband and any other bits and pieces that help with the infrastructure and connectivity within villages. So that's hugely important. So we are the go-to people for rural matters. So just please do come to, best to look at our website, which is wern.org.uk. And as I say, sitting within that is the village agent service. But one thing I wanted to mention to you is that it's coming as we start to open up our doors a bit and start to think about getting people back into groups. But beyond that, I would say hopefully April, May, I'm looking at bigger events that are going to be pulling people like yourself into a room. We've got some funding. Now the first lot of events will be around getting older drivers to be able to keep driving safely. So for many people, they haven't got in their car for the last 2 years. We've run a couple of events and they've been hugely successful, alongside the central presentation, which is given brilliantly by the Somerset road safety people. Tremendous things to learn, tips and what have you. We invite as many organisations as possible to have a space within the same hall, a stall, so that people arrive, get a cup of tea, wander around, Age UK, Curo, Care and Repair, We Care, and all sorts of organisations. But as we move around the patch, as it were, it's really nice to also include organisations that are very local to that area. So the next one will probably be in Coombe Down, hopefully at the Mulberry Park. So if anyone's got any connections with that area, please let me know. and then we can offer, and then those are bigger events, but we can also offer a smaller version of that, and I'm hoping that we might be able to do something like that in the Peas Down Hive. But again, it's just looking at logistics. But basically, we're around. Village Agents have been around for the last 12 years, and we are growing in strength. So any queries, just come to me. All the details on the website.
Thanks, Denise. Apologies, I didn't ask if anybody's got any questions for any of the previous speakers. So we'll pause here and see if there's anybody got any questions. Nope. Okay, great. Okay, we'll move on. Laura, if that's all right.
Hiya, can you hear me okay? Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm the Community Engagement Officer at the Roman Baths and City of Bath World Heritage Centre, which is the picture behind me. And I wear two hats, Community Engagement Officer, and I also work with a lovely volunteer team. But today I've got my Community Engagement hat on. And basically now that things have changed, I'm now able to be more out and about, and I can come and see you or your community groups in person, or you can come and see us. So if I give you an example of some of the activities I've been up to, if you think that you've got any groups of people that might be interested in any of this, feel free to contact me. So during lockdown 1, we were doing some virtual online Zoom sessions about the Romans. We were sending out activity packs and then doing make and craft along online. So we learned a bit about the Romans, then did some activities together online. We can adapt that in person, so I can pack up a bag, come and see, do some craft activities, learn a bit about the Romans, have a cup of tea, have a chat, and just have some fun. I've been out and about visiting some care homes with residents with various needs, some who just need assistance with sort of physical nursing, but some who are also having assistance with dementia care. So we've handled some real life Roman objects, we've done a bit of reminiscence, and we've just had a chat, we've done some craft activities. We've also got in February, we're welcoming some groups to us in our new Claw Learning Centre. So we've got a series of activities, one coming up, which is looking at textiles through time. So again, sort of gathering together, learning a bit about history, but also having fun doing some craft activities. We've been doing some mindful art linked to some of our collections. So we're quite creative, we're quite adaptive. We can, if you've got a hint of an idea, we can work with you on that. We've also got access to loads and loads of archives and heritage services about the history of your local areas. I know some of you mentioned working in particular villages, and I was thinking, oh, we've got a bit of archaeology that was found there. So if you would like us or me to come and visit you and your group, talk about what was found, maybe handle some Roman objects or other periods of history as well, we can do that. So yeah, we're quite creative, quite adaptable. I've got a car, I can come to you. I've got a nice little wheelie trolley to pack up with loads of things. So yeah, if you are interested or think, oh, I wonder if Laura could do that, the answer is probably yes at some point. So my email address is Laura, is spelled as my name on the screen, so LAURA_, so not hyphen, it's the line that goes along the bottom, Nichols, NICHO 2 L's S at Bathnes, bathnes.gov.uk. If you don't get that, if you send an email for Laura at the Roman Baths, someone will know me and send it to me, but that's my email address. Yeah, just send me a message and we can have a chat and work out how we can work together really. But as I said, we're quite creative and adaptable, so I'm sure there's something that we can link together with. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura. That's a really exciting offer.
Thank you.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be quite a nice little programme outside of in the rural communities and wider, so that's great. Any questions for Laura? I see lots of people writing your email address down.
Oh, that's
hopefully
good.
you'll have floods of emails afterwards, so that's great. Claudia, I saw, did you put your hand up, or was that a mistake, or did you want to ask a question?
No, so well, yeah. Where do you get the emails of people?
We unfortunately, our chat function isn't working today. So what we've agreed to do is I will do a circular email after this meeting, so you'll be able to pick up the emails from there. But if you have got a pen and a piece of paper, or make some notes on, write some notes down as we go, as we share them. So I'm sorry the chat function isn't working. Apologies for that. But we'll do a follow up after the meeting.
Thank you. Will you send me one, Sarah, because I've got to leave in about 10 minutes?
Yes, of
course.
course.
I'll be on it. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Great. Thanks, Laura. Any other questions for Laura? No? Okay. Great. We'll move on to Sue, if that's all right. Hi, Sue.
Oh, hi there, and thank you. I'm Sue Paul, and I work at Health Watch for Bath and North East Somerset. I did used to work for Age UK, so I know some people from sort of previous employment. So I think Health Watch, the team is Health Watch Bath and North East Somerset and Swindon, so it's like a really small team, just 4 of us. And I think Bains has been without a development officer for quite a few months, so it'd be good to sort of get more into post, because I've only started last week, and get to know some of the other groups and see how we can work together. So the key role really for Health Watch is to understand the needs and views and experiences of people who have been patients or clients of health and social care, and that can be directly sort of having events, and we have volunteers who, until COVID, were doing enter and view work, going into GP surgeries or into sort of maybe the hospital setting, to go in and observe what they found and then feed that back. Obviously that's not been happening during COVID, but hopefully things like those sorts of direct visits will be going ahead again fairly soon. So it was really just to come along and say, we have now got the sort of the project working properly in covering Bath now, and it's very much about working with other third sector organisations to engage, and as well as working directly and communicating directly with people, and covering the whole of the Bathness area. So the email address or the website, it's all one word, and it's Health Watch Bathness, as somebody else spelt out Bathness. So to email is info@healthwatchbathness.co.uk, or the website again, Health Watch Bathness. That was it for me, because I'm so new, but it's been really good. So even just coming in for a few, like the times now, it's all those links that you make. It's like a really good way of making links and thinking, oh, we could connect with that, them. And so it's good to be able to come along. Thank you.
Thanks, Sue. And am I right in saying that if you're looking for organisations to sort of submit comments, or where there's sort of an understanding of a particular issue, or there's common issues that are rising from organisations, particularly around health, that you're interested to hear from organisations where there's a common issue that you could then take forward with the RUH or
yes, yeah, I mean, I think,
or whoever it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's sometimes like a specific projects, but there's always means to, yes, there's specific projects, but generally an ongoing trying to engage and be able to feed that information back. Hopefully next time I come along, I'll have a lot more knowledge, so I'll be able to be a bit more informative. There's lots of means of, on the website, there's like sort of social media, there's like questions where people can, and space where people can present their views, and I think there's a monthly Twitter question just to sort of catch quick views on particular issues, and so that topics could also be suggested. So if a group felt, oh, I'm coming across a lot of people talking about this, then we can sort of use the sort of Twitter feed to sort of try and gather some more views on that. Yeah.
Great, thank you. And I think Jackie Head's got her hand up. Hi, Jackie. Have you got a question for Sue?
Hi, sorry, it's not a question. I was popping into this meeting hoping to just sort of listen in and make one announcement. Unfortunately, I've now got to leave.
Okay.
I wondered if I could make my one announcement.
Go for it.
So I'm here. I'm a volunteer and a member of the steering group for an organisation called Chew Valley Plants Trees, and we basically, as an organisation, we set up 2 years ago with the aim of doubling tree cover in the Chew Valley by 2030. So just a small ambition there. And our aim is to work with local people to try to find opportunities for tree planting that are sensitive to the environment. So we wouldn't want to, plant in areas rich in biodiversity. We wouldn't want to stop farming happening, but we can help people think about what we call opportunity woodland. And we've mapped out areas that would use kind of dead areas, if you like, within the valley. And so we're working alongside farmers, alongside various landowners, and also with other organisations which exist with similar aims. We have become incredibly popular as a group and involved in a lot of different planting schemes. And because of that, we're actually seeking more members for our steering group. 6 new members is what we're after. So, big plans. And to be a steering group member, really what you need is a willingness to just get stuck in some way or other, and to hold similar values, similar aims about wanting to address the climate emergency through tree planting. We've got a website. If you put Chew Valley Plants Trees into Google, you should find it. And you can email chewvalleyplantstrees@gmail.com if you have any interest in being on the steering group. In particular, just thinking of some of the things that would be really helpful. If anybody has experience in funding application making, if anybody is really a whiz on social media who could, keep our Twitter platform lively. What else are we wanting? Just anything really, people with any interest from any angle in tree planting. And you don't have to live in the Chew Valley. You can be further afield, but that's where we are doing our planting. Thanks very much for that. That's all I wanted to say. And I'm sorry I can't listen to all the various people talking. It's been fascinating.
Oh, thanks, Jackie. Before Jackie goes, is there any questions for Jackie at all? No? No? Okay. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Thanks very much. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Okay. Now on my screen, I have, if it's okay, Louise Clapton. I've got Robin, Wendy, and Kate Young, if that's all right. We'll take that in order, if that's right, Louise. If you're
Hi, Sarah.
Hi,
everybody. Afternoon. I'm sorry I was a bit late earlier. I'm Louise Clapton. I'm Community Development Officer at Dorothy House Hospice, and we look after patients and their families, patients that have been diagnosed with a life-limiting illness, and that's in Bains, North and West Wiltshire and East Mendip. And what I've been focusing on for the past few years is developing something called bereavement help points. And we've been doing that in East Mendip and Wiltshire. Now, Bereavement Help Point is a free group, support group, for anybody that has been bereaved for whatever reason at any time in their bereavement. So they could have been bereaved for 1 month or 5 years. There is no time limit on the number of visits they can make to a bereavement help point. They can come every time, they can come once every 6 months, it's entirely up to them. And I say it is free for them to attend. So I have been focusing on Wiltshire. So we have groups in Corsham, Malmesbury, Chippenham, and we're opening one in Devizes at the end of March, and we've got one in Shepton Mallet. And the ones in Wiltshire, we are now doing in partnership with Carer Support Wiltshire. So we've worked together to scope which areas that we feel there is most need. And it's been really interesting, actually. We've developed a really good partnership. But what my focus is for this year is doing the same thing in Bains, is opening those groups in Bains. And we have already approached an organisation to hopefully work in partnership with us, and they're going to come back to me this week. But what we hope to do, my ambition, is to open 4 or 5 at the same time. So rather than just opening 1 at a time, we're looking to open 4 or 5. So we're going to be looking at what areas we're going to be scoping. That's what we did in Wiltshire. We're going to be scoping Bains. We've done a little bit of that already. I know I've talked to Sarah a number of times. So yeah, watch this space. We're hoping that we will have that up and the groups open by July. That's me. Thank you.
Thanks, Louise. I know there's a huge gap, isn't there, in bereavement support. So I think this is obviously, you know, be a really welcomed support service. So it's great to hear that. And obviously you've heard some potential venues. Not that I'm, you know, the venues in Peasdown and in Bishop Sutton are available. You know, we don't want to make a preference to one or the other or both. You know, please consider them in terms of your setting up your groups. And I know Joyce has got Joy's got a hand up there.
Hi, Joy.
Hi, bereavement service is something that we've talked about at the Hive and we definitely want. And we keep coming across people. One guy came into the Hive one day and he used the post office, stood by the cafe, wondering whether to buy something. Cafe people said, "Can I help you?" He said, I don't know whether to spoil myself. She said, "Oh, go on, spoil yourself." He said, he burst into tears and he said, "I've just lost my wife." He said, "And I really don't know what I'm going to do without her." And it just brought it all home to us that we need that service in the Hive. So maybe we can link up.
Absolutely. And we find the groups are well attended. Some of them have 15 people coming. It is proving to meet a need. The thing that we look for, and I've learned this through experience because we've had to move venues on some occasions, is that there needs to be no barrier. People need to be able to come through the door and see where the group is. You know, they need to go straight from street into the group. The acoustics are really important. You know, high ceilings, that sort of thing for people with hard of hearing. We had to move one group because of the acoustics, and also being very, very central to somewhere, to a community that, you know, that is easy access for people as well. So yes, but we will be interested in venues, most definitely.
Brilliant, thank you. Chantal, I see your hands up.
Thank you. Sorry, I don't mean to be ignorant. So these are groups of people that meet on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis? They come together. Is it facilitated meeting?
So the bereavement help points, yes, they are. I should have explained that a bit better. So we recruit volunteers and train them as facilitators, local volunteers to the group. And whilst we don't sort of micromanage them, we have oversight to the group. So we're always at the end of the phone and we provide supervision, support and continuing professional development as well. The groups before the pandemic, yes, did operate weekly because we felt it was really important that if somebody went on holiday or they had an opportunity to have another activity, that they didn't go a month without any support. Since the pandemic, and because of volunteer availability, but we're addressing that now, we operate fortnightly or monthly, but we are in the process of recruiting more volunteers to support that. It's a model that's based, it's a national model, and it was developed by St Giles Hospice, but quite a few hospices now are adopting this model and hope to make it more nationally recognisable.
Thank you. Thanks, Louise. Is there any other questions for Louise at all? No, I don't think so.
Thank you.
Thanks, Louise. Let us know about the projects, because obviously, and any other new projects that you want us to put in the interagency bulletin, you know, anytime, do keep us informed and send us the information and we can put that in our bulletins. Okay, I've got, has Simon just left? Has he just disappeared? Yeah, I think he has. He just sent me an email message. So I'll just quickly check that just in case there is anything he wants me to share. And I'm sorry if you're sort of towards the end of this session. I have to pick someone first and someone last, so it's not personal. So I'm just trying to go around the screen. So thanks for everyone's patience with that. So I've got next, if that's okay, Robin, Wendy, and Kate, if that's all right.
Hello and good afternoon to everybody. My name's Robin Moss. Like a lot of people here, I wear a number of hats. So I've taken over at the back end of last year as parish clerk in Newton St Low. I'm also a Bains and Westfield parish councillor, but here mainly from Radstock and Westfield Big Local. We're a partnership and community interest company that we've been awarded £1 million worth of lottery money, spread over 10 years from 2015 through to 2025. We are just headed into the last few years of the funding, so we've had to put our plans into the lottery, which, as anyone has filled out a lottery form, know that it's taken us more than 5 minutes to get that sorted out. But we've successfully put the plan in for the next few years. I just wanted to flag up a couple of things that's happening locally. First of all, as I'm sure many of you know, there's going to be a new Healthy Living Centre in the middle of Radstock. That's been part funded, well, NHS England, by Hope House Surgery, by Bains, but also by Big Local. We put some money in for a community space, and we're having conversations with the GPs who are really keen on the ideas around social prescribing, about the whole stuff about alternatives to prescription and medication. The building isn't finished yet because, as with everything else, it's been delayed because of the pandemic, but it's getting closer. Just really flagging up that space is going to be there to be used in the future. And I'll probably let you know how things go at future meetings. But there's also a scheme that Big Local has had for a number of years that you'll have heard of, is Dragon's Den. And that is that, and we run a few of those now, where there are 10 awards of £500. We ask local people to come up with ideas for how £500 could benefit the community. You don't have to be a registered charity or community organisation, and there's a wide range of different ideas come in. And then we have an evening where local residents come and they vote for their top 10. So we've had between 15 and 20 different ideas. We've had up to 200 local people come and vote for which top 10 they would like. Obviously, we haven't been able to do that for the last couple of years, but we're looking to run one at the beginning of July. So the first thing is, if you know of any local people or local groups or benefits to Radstock and Westfield and you want to bid for £500, then please get your application in. The presentation evening is an opportunity for community organisations and groups to tell a big chunk of local residents about what they're doing and how they can volunteer, how they can help. So it's a bit of an advertising shop window, as well as obviously getting £500, which isn't to be sniffed at. As I say, we're running it at the beginning of July, so more applications we get, the better. And obviously, this is the first time for a couple of years we will have run an event where we're going to have a large number of people in a space. And we don't know how that's going to go. And to an extent, it's going to be suck it and see. But any advice, thoughts, support that people have, please do get in touch with myself. It's Robin Moss. And I put my email address in the chat, but I can't. Get in touch with Radstock and Westfield Big Local. Thanks.
Thanks, Robin. Yeah, apologies again for the chat. But Robin, he's one of our councillors, as Robin mentioned, so you can email him at robin_moss@bathnest.gov.uk. I'm sure you've got another email address, but that's probably an easy one to contact you on.
Yeah.
But we'll circulate, as I say, the contact details afterwards, so hopefully you can make some connections again. So thanks, Robin. Any questions for Robin before we move on? No? So keep in mind some projects, because that sounds really interesting and great that you're being able to do those events again for the big locals. So it's nice to sort of see all these things coming back to life, really, which is great. So thanks. Over to Wendy, if that's all right. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy. Hi. Thank you very much, Sarah. You don't have to keep apologising for the lack of chat. IT issues, we get them all the time. Sorry, you know what I mean? Don't worry about it. I'm Wendy Loads. I'm a liaison officer with the England Illegal Money Lending team. Some of you probably have heard about me. I come to quite a few of these meetings. More than ever, really, it's about spreading awareness. What with the energy bills about to shoot through the roof, and food bills and everything like that, we are going to find more and more people turning to illegal lenders. We're a national project. We're basically here to investigate, arrest and prosecute illegal lenders. They're the people who haven't got a license to lend money, and to help their victims get their lives back on track by working with the partnerships to be able to do that. We have a hotline number, which is 0300 555 2222. It's manned 24 hours a day, every single day. People can call anonymously. We also have a website, which is www.loansharks.co.uk, and people can actually report by live chat Monday to Friday, 9 AM to 5 PM. We are in April. Every year we ask for people to bid for pockets of money. So the forms will go out in April. So if you're interested, then please drop me an email. My email address is wendy.loads, which is the second part of my surname, at birmingham.gov.uk. You can bid for up to £5,000, and it's to roll out a project in your community, which obviously has to be sort of based around the loan shark issue. The forms come out in April. You have until June to get the forms back in, then you have until the end of the financial year to actually roll that project out. So we've got that happening. We're also doing something called the Partnership Recognition Scheme, which is a scheme where we award partners for the work they do in the community. And I will send the details to Sarah, and hopefully that you can send that out to everybody to have a look at. We have tried to roll out training to this group, only nobody actually took us up on the offer, which is a bit of a shame really, but I do a training session. It's 45 minutes long. It tells you, what to look out for, how to support clients, victims of illegal lenders, and how you can signpost them towards us. If you are interested as an organisation, again, please drop me an email, and we can book a session in for you. As I say, it's a problem that's going to get worse. The pandemic is pushing people towards illegal lenders already, let alone, the price of everything going up. So really that's me. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Wendy. And if anybody does want a training session, then just let us know. We can, put you in contact with Wendy, and we'll just keep promoting them, because I think it's really important. It's something we certainly want to do as part of our next forum meeting. It's certainly in Keynsham to focus on. So we'll be in touch with you about trying to do something specifically for our forum stakeholder members. So
that's great. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
So, thanks, Wendy. I just noticed that Karen and somebody else had to leave, so apologies to those that have left. Simon Lawson, who's just left recently, he's our new Chief Exec for Citizens Advice Bureau. So I think he wanted to introduce himself, but he's hopefully going to come to a future meeting, so you'll meet him. So just remember that name. It's Simon Lawson from Citizens Advice Bureau. He's the new Chief Exec there. So, and I know they're looking at doing some more outreach work. So if you've got any ideas or want to make contact with him, then please do so. So I've got next on my list, if that's okay, Kate Young, if that's all right. Yeah, if that's okay.
Hiya. Yeah, that's great. Hiya, I'm Kate Young. I'm the Support Services Manager for the Carer Centre in Bains. We have a team of support officers who work on our support line Monday to Friday. This year we actually changed the opening hours from as of January to 9 AM till 1 PM. Previously we were 8:15 till midday, so we just looked at some trends and things in calls that were coming through and adjusted the time so that carers could get in touch with us during their lunch break as well. Even if carers get in touch with us outside of those hours, we do get back to them within one working day. So any inquiries that come through, we will get back to them. The team pick up those messages. Something that is kind of new to our setup at the Carer Centre is we now have a newly formulated recognition team. The recognition officers are able to support professionals who may have any questions around supporting carers in their roles. We can kind of offer from that team any kind of support or presentations where you may kind of come across carers and want to know how to signpost and support them and steer them in our direction. our team actually signpost to most of your organisations as well, and I'll feed that back to, you know, the updates to our team when I come back to them tomorrow. So as far as supporting unpaid carers in Bains, they don't have to have any formal registration with us. They just complete a form and online on our website, or a professional can do that on their behalf, and we will then contact them and sign them up to the Carers Centre. We offer a range of wellbeing breaks and carers cafes for carers to attend, as well as more group peer support through our coping with caring support services. So we are also have launched our new website this year, so please do go online and check out the bainscarerscentre.org.uk, and on there we hope we've covered an awful lot more, and it's a bit more user friendly than our previous website to be able to refer and gather information, and especially when it comes to professionals accessing support, to be able to kind of refer information on to carers. And I'm not sure what else I need to put on there. I've got a list, but yeah, I think the other thing is just to pass our recognition managers information. The recognition team will actually be at the next interagency meeting, also a representative from it, but it's helen.watts@bainscarerscentre.org.uk. It's quite a mouthful, but perhaps I'll send that on to you, Sarah, as well.
That's great, thanks very much. Any questions for Kate at all? No? Okay. Right, okay, so is it Hamza, Joss, Suzanne, Gemma and Catherine? I think the last one's on my list, if that's okay. So over to, apologies if I've pronounced your name incorrectly.
Absolutely fine,
Hamza.
It's Hamza.
Hamza, hi, welcome to the meeting.
Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Hamza. I work at the West of England Combined Authority in the Growth Hub. I wanted just to speak to you guys about a new program. Well, it's not new, it's been running for a year now, a program called Migrant Business Support that we're running in conjunction with Ashley Community Housing. It's basically a 360 wraparound business support program to help anyone who's a third country national. That's anyone who doesn't have a UK or EU passport, to help them get their business off the ground. If they have an idea, we can help them game the idea through and help them get that business off the ground. Or if they have an existing business idea, we can help them, support them to scale that program. It's open to anyone, any adult, like I said, who doesn't have a UK or EU passport and lives in the West of England region. If you go onto the West of England Combined Authority Growth Hub website, there's a link on there to sign up, and I'll give you guys a call. Any questions? I
think it's the first time we've had anybody from WECA, so thank you for coming. Yeah, if you could let us know that you could send us an email, or when I send an email around, send us some details and we'll put the information in the bulletin. That'd be great to share.
Amazing, that's fine. I'll do that.
So that's brilliant. Thank you.
No worries.
Thanks very much. Okay. Next, I've got Joss, if that's okay. Hi, Joss.
Hi there. My name's Joss Clark. I work for an organisation called We Care and Repair, and really the purpose of coming on today is to talk about the Urgent Repair Grant, which is a Bains local authority grant. To the sort of clues in the name, really, it's an urgent repair grant, but that will assist people coming home from hospital. We do a little bit of hospital prevention, but that is there's a bit of a caveat with that one. We need to be a bit careful. And also the urgent repair grant will help people on the means tested benefit, so pension credit, universal credit, to get an urgent repair grant, repair done to their property. So that might be repair to a window, repair to a floor if it becomes dangerous, boiler, things like that. We don't service boilers, but we'll repair them. So that's really the purpose of coming on today. Thank you.
Well, that's great. Is that open for a short period, Joss, or is it open-ended for this next year, financial year?
It's a rolling grant.
Okay.
And the maximum you can have up to 4 small grants a year, but it's up to a maximum of about £800 a year. So it's a relatively small amount of money, but if you're creative, you can get quite a lot done for that money. But it's a rolling grant, and we've been administering the grant for years now.
That's great, thank you. Katie, I've noticed the hands up.
Sorry, just a real quick question. Do you manage the repair as well, or do you just administer the grant?
No, I administer the repair as well. So I work with a number of contractors. So I would go to the property and do the paperwork with the client if they're at home, or if they're in hospital, obviously get the hospital to do that. Go there with a contractor to get a quote and then get the works done.
Oh, that's great. And just one other question. How do people get referred to you?
So they can either self-refer or come via another third party, such as yourself.
Okay.
So contact We Care and Repair either via the website or telephone, and they will take a referral.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you.
Okay, lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions for Joss? No? Okay, thank you. Thanks, Joss. I've got Suzanne and Gemma and Catherine, if that's okay. I think I've got. There she is. Hello.
Hi. I'm Suzanne. I'm representing the St Philip's and St James community minibus that we've got up and odd down in Bath. We've lost a lot of our regular users over the pandemic, so we're trying to pick up new charities that would want to use the facilities that we've got. So it's a 17-seater bus, fully disabled access, tail lift and good steps and stuff to get into it. We allow you to register your own driver for your charity so that you're self-sufficient and using the minibus, and we aim to provide it at reasonable costs just to cover the fuel and the running expenses of the van. So if anyone knows of any charities looking for transports, one-off or possibly regular use, if they could contact me, it's minibus@stphilipsstjames.org. Thank you.
That's great. And do you have to be located in Bath? Because I know you're based in Bath, aren't you? But is it available to all of organisations across Bains, or?
Yeah, we cover the whole of the Bains area. So yeah, if you contact me, then I can let you know more if you're interested in using it.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks.
Any questions for Suzanne? Oh, Lucy's got a question.
Hi, Suzanne. Can I just ask, are there any kind of COVID restrictions? Are you asking people to do lateral flow tests or anything at the moment? Because I know not the Hive, but another group I'm more connected with, their elderly residents are finding it difficult to do the lateral flows, and so they are therefore prevented from using their current transport.
No, because groups use it as their own group, we don't pick up individual passengers. It would be down to the group's COVID health and safety thing. But as a minibus, no, as long as it's cleaned thoroughly, we clean it before it's used, and we clean it when it's returned to us. So yeah, it's then within their group to have those controls.
Great, I'll probably be in touch.
Right, thanks.
Thanks very much. Okay, I've got Gemma and Catherine. Are you still on the call? I can't. There's Gemma. Hi, Gemma.
Okay, hello. Just as I unmuted myself, my dog started barking. Sorry about that. Doors are pain working. So I'm Gemma. I represent Live Well Bains. So it's a new website. It's a combination of 3 old websites. So some of you might remember Wellbeing Options, One Big Database, and Rainbow Resource. So we've combined the 3 separate websites to make one website, which is Live Well Bains. So we've got all the information you guys are talking about should be on Live Well Bains. If not, please add yourself. It's really easy to add yourself. If you go to the website, livewell.bathnets.gov.uk, and there's a link at the top to say add your organisation. We will decide where it fits within the different age categories and things as well. So we've got an adult section that has loads of organisations and services and stuff where adults can find information, so mental health information, groups and activities, care home information, things like that. All the stuff that used to be on Wellbeing Options, if any of you remember that, wasn't a very good site, and I do apologise. We do hope Live Well Bains is much better. If you like to give us feedback, it's quite a relatively new site, so we're still looking for feedback on the website, so we're more than happy to receive that. So it also has a children and families section, which has all the Ofsted registered childcare providers on there, groups for children and young people, and things like that, and which is the information that was on One Big Database, Bath and Yes. And we also have a section for children with SEND or additional needs. So that's the old Rainbow Resource website. So all that information from those 3 websites have been pulled together onto one website to make it easier for people to find information and for organisations to manage that information as well. We do have promotional postcards. I've put it up on my screen here. If you would like some of these sent out, I'm actually doing a big mail out today. So if you want any of these to hand out to your clients, do let me know and I can pop them in the post for you. I'll put my email address on my signature, on my name in a second, so you can email me if you want to. Yeah, in a nutshell, that is the website. Without showing you and going into lots of detail, that is the website. Any questions?
Thanks, Gemma. And if it's an organisation that wants to add themselves, I'm sure you've already got them listed anyway, but just in case, they can do that via yourselves, or is there a general
so if they go onto the website, there's a big pink or red button, I'm a bit colourblind, at the top of the screen to say add your service. So they can just click on there and add their service themselves. We are encouraging organisations to add their own details onto Live Well Bains, just because then it's easy for them to update that information and add the information that they want on there, as opposed to the information that we think should be on there. So yeah, it should be really easy to add their details. So yeah, it's the big pink or red button at the top of the screen.
Thank you. And it's a really good resource, you know, if you're looking for activities and groups, and it's a really good place to start. So, you know, do try and remember it, the website. And while Catherine's talking, I'll try and get it up and share it on the screen so you can see it, so it's visible to you. So unless there's any other questions for Gemma. Oh, is Wendy is that your hand up?
No, sorry.
No, that's all right.
No, sorry.
That's all right. No problem.
There. I shall take it down if I can. I don't know.
No, that's right. No, I just saw your pen move up like that. I just
did
your hand up.
Sorry. So basically, just use my service, my team, Wellbeing, Live Well Bains, as the free advertising. If you've got an activity coming up, an event or whatever, if you want to advertise all the groups, the lovely groups that you've all mentioned here, use it as free advertising. We are trying to make Live Well Bains the place to find information. So we are linking in with Virgin Care, I don't know their new acronym, their organisations and some other big organisations as well. So all the information should be on Live Well Bains. Yeah, so it is the place to go for information and to add your information, and free advertising. Who can go wrong with that?
Thanks, Gemma. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And last but not, well, I think you are last but not least, but it's not, you know, Nice to see you, Catherine. I'm sorry you are the last, but hopefully you've got some really exciting news to tell us.
I might have missed Lucy Day. Did you speak earlier, Lucy? Oh, you did speak. Sorry, I missed you. I had to step away from the computer really briefly. Veronica Kupperman, I'm not sure whether she's spoken.
No, I haven't. I will update you all in a minute.
Oh, apologies, Veronica. I do apologise. Sorry.
It's okay. No worries. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine.
It's easier for me to speak because I've been listening as I've been going.
Go on, Catherine. Over to you.
Thanks, Sarah. I think the target market here is more sort of the elderly, but we're sort of aimed at the up to 25. So excuse me if this is completely irrelevant to you, but you may know somebody here it's relevant to you. So I'm from the SEND Partnership Service. We are the information advice service for Bath and North East Somerset. Every local authority has one of us. Our information and advice officers are legally trained to understand what the education requirements should be for your children and what the provision should be in place and how to support that being in place. So we are very busy at the moment. We've lost some members of the team, which is a bit unfortunate, but we do still get in touch as quickly as we can. So the best route really is to sort of send us an email or through our inquiry form. So if you're looking at the Zoom on a larger screen, I've put my email address on my name. So it's www.spsbathnes.org.uk. Do take a look. It's very useful. There's resources there for professionals as well as for parents, children and young people. We're hoping, I think at the next interagency, I'll have some massive announcement. I'm hoping, because we're hoping to launch YouTube soon, which will have all sorts of information videos that support everything that people need to know about what we do and how they need support. It's going to be our kind of additional information and advice worker, if you like. I think that's a whistle-stop tour of us, but do take a look at our website. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Catherine. And just quickly before Veronica, I don't know whether you can all see that, just her update. This is the Live Well website, so it's very easy to use. livewell.bathnes.gov.uk, split into 3, as Gemma said. Easy. It's very searchable. And do check it out. And I think, Catherine, your information is in there as well, isn't it? So if you're not listed within the database, then do let Gemma know. So I just thought I'd share that quickly. And Veronica, I do apologise. Sorry, I've missed you off, but over to you. It's your moment.
It's okay. Well, I'll try my best. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you. I'm Veronica. I manage the social prescribing service in Bains. I work for the HI, Developing Health and Independence, and we are based at the GP surgeries in Bains. We have a vacancy in the Summer Valley area at the moment, so hopefully we'll have some news about that vacancy soon. So the aim of the service is to support patients in Bains to improve the health outcomes by concentrating on the socioeconomic, social issues that might be underlying their health. So we work with patients that might be feeling a bit stressed or low, worried about their finances or housing situation, maybe coming to terms with a new health diagnosis or recently bereaved, looking at new activities, opportunities in their community, volunteering, trying to live well at home independently. So it really varies. We work with all patients over 18. So the service that was just mentioned will be relevant to us. And we don't have any other referral criteria apart from being registered with the GP surgery in Bains and being over 18. We have 5 social prescribers at the moment, 1 per primary care network. I'm not sure if you are familiar with what a PCN or primary care network is, but it's a cluster of GP surgeries that come together so they can access additional funding from the NHS to provide community services like the one that we are providing. So it's really good to see you all, because we are not expert in any of the areas that we signpost people to. What we do is do a holistic and quite broad assessment about somebody's needs, and then we refer to the activities and services in the community. We don't keep patients. We don't offer any specialist advice on housing or debt. We identify what's available and link people with your services. So having these updates is really useful. Thank you.
Veronica, do you link with, I can't remember what they're called. They were on the last interagency, or perhaps it was a couple before that, but they work in each of the GP surgeries, but they're in, I think they're in the Tube Valley area and around that side. Denise, you're nodding your head. Can you help me with what they're called?
Those are in the Three Valleys areas, and they're the care coordinators that work specifically directly with the GPs and clinical team.
Yes,
so different, but more in a clinical way. But
yeah, so while
with Veronica's people.
Yeah, so while we have a vacancy for the social prescribing in the Three Valleys primary care network, I'm meeting with the care coordinators on a fortnightly basis. So I have some contact with them and we share information. Yeah, thank you.
Great.
And Katie, if you are still here, Katie Lan, I don't think she is. Oh yeah, there you are. It will really good to make contact with you, because we have a social prescriber covering Bath Eastern that would like to arrange a meeting so we can discuss how we can work together.
Oh, amazing. That would be great. Just contact me.
Brilliant.
Great. Well, thanks very much. I don't know if there's any other questions, or if anybody wants to stay on and you know, connect with any other colleagues. You're more than welcome to do so. I'll stay on for a little bit longer. Thanks all for your patience. I know it's taken up about an hour and a half, but I certainly have learned quite a lot of new stuff today. So thanks for sharing. And it sounds like there's lots of funding available, new projects coming up. It all sounds really exciting, and things opening up again. So let's hope 2022 is a better year for us all, really, and for our community. So thanks for everything you do and you continue to do. And I feel very lucky to live in Bains and work in Bains. So so thanks very much, and thanks for joining the session today. And hopefully we'll see you in a couple of months. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Sarah.